Hey, how's it going today? It's Frank here, and I'm here with Wild Wednesdays. And this movie is called Trigger Warning. It looked good. It sounded good. I seen a scene of it on Netflix where they showed a bit of a scene of that of the movie. And yeah, so I thought it was going to be good. Jessica Alba stars as a character called Parker, whose dad was killed by like some sort of, I think, the mob or something like that. Now, the start of this movie, it wasn't too bad. I'm better than mine too. I'm not a fan of Jessica Alba that much. I don't think I've watched many of her movies. I mean, she's obviously like one of the biggest actresses in the world, so she's well known. Same with Jason Statham, Keanu Reeves, those sort of actors and actresses, right? But this movie, it didn't quite grip me as I thought. When I saw it, I was just like, it's up my street. I mean, if it started good, I thought, okay, this is going to be good right here. Excuse me. So nothing much really happens. This is another burp again, sorry. So it starts off with like, her, in the military scene, and she just shooting enemies up. Same with her like, partners as well. And then she gets a phone call after that from like Jesse, which is she was a sheriff. I'm gonna get these names right, and I'm gonna try and make this as quick, short as I can. Summarize the movie up perfectly. I don't make my video too long, as I have been doing for a while now. So she gets a call from Jessie, who that the sheriff says her dad passed away. She gets given some sort of note from like the sheriff, that looked like a suicide note, but wasn't. She then you then see Mikey that comes into the scene, and he sort of like goes to her dad's mind. Her dad Harry, well, her dad's called Harry, so yeah. Goes to her mind, and she finds out that someone threw a grenade and actually someone killed him. Like someone killed him before. But he did get killed before the mine exploded, or the robber and stuff like that. She obviously gets visions of her dad. And I've got to say, in this movie, there wasn't really many fight scenes. I'm sorry, this is action. It needs to act like an action movie. It didn't give me that vibe. I wasn't hooked like I was with Homefront. I was hooked. I was not really hooked like that wasn't like I was in that movie. But I don't know, it just made me lose focus on this a little bit. The characters weren't really intriguing me that much. The acting was okay. Then the nice little fight scene where she was at the shop and she had to help, like, I think his name's Frank, to retrieve his watch. And then you come across like Elvis, who's like Jesse, and who's like Jesse's brother basically. And he's trying to like sell some missing weapons from the deep web or something like that. And obviously like Parker, but that's Jessica Alba's character's name, Parker. And so she kind of finds out about it, and they sort of like, the officers sort of try to make her talk. There's nice little scenes where she's in the mansion, and she tries she goes in there, and obviously does a bit of fighting. And then I would assume she killed like Jesse and Elvis's dad. I would assume so anyway. I don't know if she didn't know. She also had that cool little fight scene with those three officers around her, like punching her, just so she can reveal the answers, like the passcode to I think her phone. I think she's getting the wrong one, but Jesse eventually figured it out. And there also like a fight scene when they get to like I don't think it's the same mine. Unless it's a different mine, unless they get into some random cave, and there's like fight scenes there, and Spider comes along. And this was like before they get into mine. Spider comes into it, and I was like, well, where's Parker gone? Because that's like Parker's friend. She shoots a truck, it explodes. I think that's like, I don't know how it exploded with just one bullet. And this was like the weapons were in there, and a bit of shooting, a bit of fight from Spider happened. And then the fight inside the cave is always kind of, I like the scene. Again, not enough to warrant a good action movie. And then she then takes Elvis out. I think that was Elvis in that sort of scene anyway. It was like, and this was a different soldier that looked like him. Then yeah, so, and then I think it was him. And then she sort of fights the other dudes. And then Mikey and his friends come in. You sort of see, I think his mom Georgia comes in as well, which which you see in like earlier on in the movie, where Parker comes in, like you see Georgia, and she was also in their basement too because she got injured whilst in some sort of like fight. So yeah, and then as soon as like Spider has some sort of like rocket launcher, a missile, and shoots it, and there's that bit of rubble. You can see him amongst the rubble, and she also has a fight with like another person as well. And you see it towards the end when they're at this military base or wherever it is. She knows that Jesse's hiding there, and Jesse was the actual one that killed her dad. Bear that in mind. So didn't know that. I wouldn't have thought he would have been the one to do it. And this is what I don't get in this scene of the movie. When they're face to face, you think, oh, she's gonna kill him, just because Joss is for her dad, right? So she, I don't understand the scene. She tries to help him when he releases like the what do you think? What would you call it when you take the thing off the grenade? The lever or something like that. When you put the grenade like that and there's like a lever afterwards you have to hold down. Yeah, she tried to help him. She said, oh, give it to me. You're not a bad guy. Everybody knows you're here. And I don't know. I mean, he said I tried calling him in. Whatever it was, whatever reason he said, I didn't quite get it. I don't know why she tried to help him. She should just left him to it. He killed her dad, unless her dad was a bad person, which fair enough. But even that, you want justice for your family member's death. So he eventually did do it, and yeah, so it exploded. So yeah, if you're wondering, she also had an injury earlier on. Before she had the injury and she was in George's, basement, she was having a bit of like a scuffle with like, I think it was like, who was it? Some guy she tried to attack and beat up, and so like the bar bent down as well, and she had a bit of a fight with this dude. I think it was Elvis someone. She had a fight with somebody in there. Yeah, and then you see a scene of the lizard just walk around. I don't know why the camera had to pan to the lizard. So I didn't understand that. So that's Mikey's pet bird, not mine. So yeah, and then at the end you see, Parker and Spider just in the truck, just getting at the petrol station, and she's on the phone to Mikey. Not really much to talk about. I'm maybe going to mention that. There was some odd scenes that were in Spanish, which I think they were in Spanish anyway. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go through them anyway. And yeah, that's really all the part of the movie right there. And I know the movie's long. I didn't want to go too much into it because not much really happens in this movie. And I know I should have started the video a bit more clearly. I mean, I had it all planned out in my head how I'm going to start the video, how I'm going to do it. It just didn't quite come out in my words, but you know what I'm saying anyway. I try to explain things as best as I can. And yeah, what to say? Nothing much in that movie, to be honest. They didn't grip me. Even the fighting scenes, the shop scene was probably the best part in the movie. Other than that, it didn't grip me. There wasn't much happening. The fight scenes were not long enough. I'm not looking for anything martial artsy. I'm just saying that I'm looking for something that's a bit more crazy and chaotic. Some of the action movies I've seen, they've been chaotic. Obviously, apart from the odd ones, 2, 3, 4 maybe. The terrible ones I've spoken about. But there's other ones I've seen that are given that I need it to be at least a 7 for me to be convinced it's not a bad action movie. Even the movie Ballerina had a bit more to it. The 2023 version, by the way, not the recent one with John Wick's character in it. The 2023 one. I think there's the Korean. Is it Korean? Yeah, the Korean movie. So the Korean version basically. That had something more to it because the fights were a bit more crazy towards the end. The acting was fairly enough okay. And I kind of like something like that. Especially the start scene as well. But this type of movie, I don't think it actually is convincing me enough that it's a decent movie. Regardless if like a great actor is in it, right? One of my favourite actors. If the movie ain't gripping me enough, it can't be a good movie to me. This is simply more than an average movie to me. Look, I get it's good to make, don't get me wrong. I mean, you do hook people in with like the name Trigger Warning. That's a good name for a movie like this. It got me hooked. What it's about got me hooked. Seeing a snippet of it on Netflix, it made me hooked. But again, that misled me to thinking it's going to be like that throughout the movie. So I really wish that movies would stop doing that, right? Excuse me. I bet on the trailer only show the good parts to make you think it's going to be good. It wheels you into a false sense of like, how do you describe it? A false sense. I'm not saying so. It's nothing to do with security, or is it? A false sense of hope that the movie will be good. I don't know. I don't know what word to say after that. I'm trying to think of a word to put after that, really. But yeah, what more can I say? I just need a movie where it's good from the start. And okay, I'm not saying it has to be action. It has to be action 90% of the time. They can't be talking. 20 frames, okay, you need a bit of a build up, get to know the characters. But again, if something's action, have it throughout, right? Have it when after 20 minutes action pops off, or maybe after 30 minutes. But don't leave it until like the last 20 minutes. That's when the movie's nearly done. That's just pointless. You might as well not have made an action. You might as well just turn it into like, I don't know, just like a crime drama or something, not drama, but just like a crime movie or something like that. I mean, I know it's related to action, but you might as well not made an action movie. It's no point. Only action towards the end. Unless it was really, really good, high intense action, it would have knocked the rating up 100%. But it just wasn't enough for me. I lost focus. I wasn't gripped. Apart from like the 2-3 scenes, that's it. You need 90% action, 90% of fighting in this sort of genre. So yeah, look, I mean, it's great that they made a movie. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's some good parts to it, which I respect them for. But again, just wasn't gripping me. Rating for this, there's only one rating. It's a 5. It's not even a questionable. But look, there's people that's going to disagree with me. There might be people that think this movie's the best. That's fine. You can have your opinion, but I've seen it, and for what I can tell you now is that it's one of the most average movies I've ever seen. That's just by me watching it. I'm not going to keep this on my list. It's not for me. So yeah, improvements, more action, please. It's action. It's a horror movie. More horror, please. More scareness. More. It needs craziness in all sorts of genre movies, to be honest. That's what us viewers want. More intensity. We don't want this like so much talking. If like it was 80% talking or 90% talking, 10% action. That's what it was. It was a complete opposite what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something chaotic. Something that has a good storyline to it. This didn't really interest me that much. But I'm glad I watched it. I gave it a go because I don't want to be accused of being closed-minded on these things. I keep an open mind when it comes to movies. But I always end up picking either the average or poor ones. I only find the odd good ones. So yeah, that's it for this video. 5 out of 10 it is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.